Have you ever watched Demon Slayer and thought you understood how everything works? But deep down, something didn't fully add up. The powers look supernatural, the fights look almost magical, and the characters feel larger than life. But here's the truth. A lot of what you think you know about Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, isn't actually what's happening. And once you understand these facts, the entire story hits differently. Because Demon Slayer isn't just about flashy fights. It's about limits, sacrifice, and the harsh reality of what it takes to fight monsters. As a human, let's start with the biggest misconception about the main character. Tanjiro Kamado was never chosen. Unlike a lot of anime protagonists, Tanjiro Kamado didn't start his journey with a hidden power or a special destiny. No demon sealed inside him, no royal bloodline, no God-given ability waiting to awaken. He was just a kind boy, trying to survive. Even when tragedy struck and his family was taken from him, nothing suddenly made him powerful. He trained, he failed, he struggled, and that's what makes Tanjiro different from most main characters. His strength is built, not inherited. Even when he learns advanced techniques later on, it's not because he was destined for them. It's because he endured enough to reach them. And that brings us to something that changes how you see every fight in the series. Breathing styles are not real elements. When you watch Tanjiro use water breathing, it looks like waves are crashing around him. When you see flame breathing, it feels like fire, but none of that is actually real. According to official material, these elements are visual representations. They don't exist physically, so what are you really seeing? You're seeing movement, precision, speed, techniques so refined that it feels like nature itself. When a swordsman swings their blade, the effect is so fluid that it resembles water. When they strike with explosive force, it feels like fire. But it's all skill, no magic, just human ability pushed to its absolute limit. And that makes every battle more impressive. Because these fighters aren't controlling elements, they're mastering themselves. Now let's talk about someone whose strength is often misunderstood. Zenitsu Agatsuma. Zenitsu is one of the most unique fighters in the series. Not because he's loud, not because he's scared, but because his true power only appears when he's unconscious. And there's actually a real reason for that. When Zenitsu is awake, his fear takes over. His mind floods with doubt, hesitation, panic. But when he's asleep, that fear disappears. His body moves on instinct. Every movement he trained, every technique he practiced, flows perfectly without interruption. In a way, Zenitsu asleep is the version of himself without mental limits. And that version is terrifyingly efficient. It shows something important about Demon Slayer. Sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't your enemy, it's your own mind. Now let's move to someone who completely breaks the rules of the human body, Inosuke Hashibira. At first glance, Inosuke just seems wild and unpredictable. But the truth is much deeper. His body is biologically abnormal. He can dislocate his joints at will. He can bend his bones in unnatural ways. He can even move his internal organs to avoid fatal damage. And this isn't because of training. It's not a breathing technique. It's how he was born. Official data classifies Inosuke's body as an anomaly, which explains why his fighting style feels so chaotic. He doesn't fight like a trained swordsman. He fights like something that doesn't follow human rules. Now, here's something that many fans misunderstand. The Hashira are not equal. It's easy to assume that all Hashira are on the same level, just with different specialties, but that's not the case. There are clear differences in strength, experience, and combat ability. And at the very top stands Gyomi Haimijima. Gyomi is consistently recognized as the strongest Hashira, not just by fans, but by the characters themselves. Even the most powerful demons acknowledge his strength. His physical power, his control, his presence in battle, all place him above the others. This doesn't make the other Hashira weak. It just shows that even among the strongest, there are levels. Now let's talk about something that completely changes how you see power in this series. The Demon Slayer mark is not just a power-up, it's a cost, a serious one. When a Slayer awakens the mark, their abilities skyrocket. Speed increases, strength multiplies. Perception sharpens, but there's a hidden price. Every person who manifests the mark is destined to die before the age of 25. There's only one known exception, which means this power isn't free. It's a trade. You gain strength, but you lose time. The mark is essentially pushing the human body beyond its natural limits. It's not a blessing, it's a countdown. And once you realize that, every moment a marked Slayer fights becomes more intense. Because you know they're burning their life away. Now here's something that connects everything together. Sun breathing is the origin of all breathing styles. Every technique used by Demon Slayers traces back to one original form. Sun breathing. All other styles, water, flame, wind, are derivatives, simplified versions, adaptations, which means every Slayer is, in some way, using a fragment of something greater. A system created by a single individual, and that leads to one of the most important truths in the series. Strength in Demon Slayer isn't just physical, it's emotional. Characters don't grow stronger just because they train. They grow stronger because of what they go through. Pain, loss, responsibility. That's what pushes them forward. That's what sharpens their resolve. And that's why someone like Tanjiro keeps evolving. Not because he was chosen, but because he refuses to break. And maybe that's what makes Demon Slayer so powerful as a story. It doesn't rely on destiny. It relies on effort, on sacrifice, on the idea that even an ordinary person can become extraordinary through sheer will. So the next time you watch Demon Slayer, look beyond the surface. Look past the visuals. Look past the effects. Because what you're really watching isn't magic. It's human beings pushing themselves beyond what should be possible. And that makes every fight matter. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more anime content like this. And tell me in the comments, which fact changed how you see Demon Slayer the most? I'll see you in the next one.